Water. It's the essence of life, a symbol of purity and renewal. We picture pristine mountain streams, crystal clear lakes reflecting azure skies. We imagine the refreshing taste of cool, clean water quenching our thirst on a hot day. But what if this image of purity is nothing more than an illusion? What if the very water we depend on, the water that sustains us, is harboring an invisible threat? This is the unsettling reality we face today. While our waterways may appear pristine, a hidden danger lurks within them: forever chemicals. These chemicals, known as PFAS, are contaminating our drinking water, and their impact on our health and environment is only beginning to be understood. The illusion of purity is shattered as we grapple with the consequences of our actions, facing a crisis that demands our immediate attention. PFAS, or per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, are a group of man-made chemicals known for their durability. Imagine a chain of carbon atoms, incredibly strong and resistant to breaking down. Now picture those carbon atoms bonded to fluorine atoms, making the chain even more robust and resistant to degradation. This unique chemical structure is what makes PFAS both useful and problematic. They're used in a wide range of products, from non-stick cookware and firefighting foam to food packaging and cosmetics. These chemicals earned the nickname forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment. Instead, they persist for decades, even centuries, accumulating in our water, soil, and even our bodies. Their very strength, the quality that made them so desirable in manufacturing, is the same quality that makes them a persistent threat to our planet and our health. Now, a new and alarming source of PFAS contamination has come to light: prescription medications. Researchers have discovered that certain medications, including some antidepressants and anti-inflammatory drugs, contain PFAS. This revelation raises significant concerns about the pathways of contamination and the potential for widespread exposure. Wastewater treatment plants, designed to remove biological waste, are ill-equipped to handle PFAS. These chemicals pass through traditional treatment processes largely untouched, ultimately ending up in our rivers, lakes, and even our drinking water. The discovery of PFAS in pharmaceuticals adds another layer to the problem, highlighting the need for stricter regulations and innovative treatment technologies. The pervasiveness of PFAS contamination is staggering. Studies by the Environmental Working Group, EWG, estimate that PFAS contaminates the tap water of over 200 million Americans. This means that a significant portion of the U.S. population is unknowingly ingesting these chemicals every time they turn on their tap. The stories from affected communities are particularly heartbreaking. In states like Michigan, North Carolina, and New Hampshire, residents have witnessed the devastating effects of PFAS contamination firsthand. Elevated rates of cancer, immune deficiencies, and developmental issues in children are just some of the reported health problems. These communities face an uncertain future, grappling with the consequences of contaminated water and fighting for clean and safe alternatives. Section 5. The human cost health risks of PFAS. The health implications of PFAS exposure are a growing concern within the scientific community. Studies have linked these chemicals to a range of health issues, including immune deficiency, liver cancer, thyroid disorders, and developmental problems in children. The strength of the carbon-fluorine bond, the very characteristic that makes PFAS so durable, also makes them difficult for our bodies to eliminate. As a result, these chemicals can accumulate in our tissues over time, potentially leading to long-term health problems. While more research is needed to fully understand the long-term effects of PFAS exposure, the evidence thus far paints a troubling picture. The potential for widespread health impacts, particularly in vulnerable populations like children and pregnant women, underscores the urgent need for action to address this growing crisis. Section 6. The Regulatory Battleground. The Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, is tasked with setting safe drinking water standards and regulating the use of chemicals like PFAS. However, the agency faces significant challenges in addressing the complexities of PFAS contamination. The sheer number of PFAS chemicals, coupled with their persistence and widespread use, makes regulation a daunting task. Furthermore, the EPA's efforts to establish enforceable drinking water standards have been met with resistance from industry groups. These groups argue that the science is inconclusive and that stricter regulations would be too costly. This pushback slows down progress and leaves communities vulnerable to the ongoing threat of PFAS contamination. Section 7. A call to action, safeguarding our water. The fight for clean water is a fight for our health, our environment, and the future of our planet. It's a fight that requires collective action from individuals, communities, and governments alike. We cannot afford to be passive observers in this crisis. We must demand accountability from our elected officials and push for stricter regulations on PFAS. Supporting organizations dedicated to clean water advocacy is crucial in this battle. These organizations work tirelessly to raise awareness about PFAS contamination, conduct independent research, and advocate for policies that protect our water resources. By supporting these groups, we can amplify their voices and contribute to the fight for safe and clean water for all. Section 8. The power of community action. Communities across the country are taking a stand against PFAS contamination, demonstrating the power of collective action. From organizing protests and demanding accountability from polluters to implementing local initiatives to reduce PFAS use, these communities are at the forefront of the fight for clean water. One inspiring example comes from a small town in Michigan, where residents successfully pressured their local government to provide bottled water and invest in advanced filtration systems after high levels of PFAS were detected in their water supply. This victory underscores the impact that engaged citizens can have in holding authorities responsible and driving meaningful change. Section 9. Towards a future of clean water. The discovery of PFAS in our water is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our health and our environment. It's a wake-up call that demands immediate action. While the challenges are significant, there is hope. Through continued research, stricter regulations, and the unwavering commitment of communities and advocates, we can work towards a future where clean water is a right, not a privilege. The fight for clean water is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, unwavering commitment, and a belief in the power of collective action. By working together, we can overcome this challenge and secure a future where clean water flows for all.